AITA for pretending I didn't know my ex? I'm 29F, and if I had to describe myself, I'd probably say I'm the invisible woman. Not in a tragic way, but I'm the kind of person who tends to fade into the background. I'm a bit on the bigger side, which people politely call curvy or plus-sized, but I'm not exactly proud of it. I've always been the friend guys look through to see the girl behind me, the one who gives the good advice, but isn't the one anyone actually wants to date. That was until I met Shane. He was 27, tall, lean, and really handsome in that effortlessly cool kind of way. He's the kind of guy people just gravitate toward, a charmer with that perfect smile and this easygoing confidence that I could never seem to muster. When we met through mutual friends, he seemed like the kind of guy I'd never have a shot with. But he was surprisingly attentive, always finding reasons to talk to me. I fell fast and hard, and before I knew it, we were something, or at least I thought we were. But from the start, there was this catch. Our relationship had to be a secret. I remember our first real conversation about it. We were lying in my bed, just talking about our lives, dreams, and random nonsense. And I asked if he'd ever want to go public. He looked at me, then away, then back, and said, "I'm not ready. It's just a personal thing." And because I was scared of losing him, I didn't press. I didn't even tell my best friend, Sarah, because deep down, I feared what people would say. I feared they'd look at us and wonder why he was with me. So I kept quiet, convincing myself it was temporary, that things would change. For 2 years, that was our routine. Shane would come over when he could, spend the night, and we'd act like we were together, but only behind closed doors. Eventually, he even moved in with me. I took that as a sign that we were progressing, like I was finally someone worth loving openly. Every day, I held out hope that one day he'd see me differently, that he'd want me for all the world to see too. Then one day, after nearly 2 years, I came home from work to find his things gone. His clothes, his toothbrush, that ugly mug he insisted on using every morning, it was all gone. Just like that, without a word, he ghosted me. I tried to call him, and that's when I found out he'd blocked my number, blocked me on every social media platform. I remember sitting on my bed that night, staring at the empty closet, feeling hollow and wondering what I'd done wrong. It wasn't until a week later that a mutual friend casually mentioned, "Did you know Shane and Jess are a thing?" Jess, a gorgeous, slim, successful woman who was the polar opposite of me. They were posting pictures together, vacationing, doing all the things he'd refused to do with me. I was a secret as stand-in. I was his backup until he found someone he deemed worth it. That realization wrecked me in ways I can't fully explain. But what could I do? I tried to swallow the shame, the betrayal, and I buried it so deeply that no one would ever know. I went radio silent. I didn't tell my friends the truth, didn't even tell my family. To them, Shane and I simply drifted apart. The shame of it all was too much. How could I explain that I'd let myself be used and discarded like I was nothing? And worst of all, how could I tell anyone I'd willingly let myself be treated like this? I didn't speak to Shane for a year. I avoided places I thought he might be, put up every wall I could, and focused on rebuilding myself. It wasn't easy, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't still have days where I questioned my worth. I tried to tell myself I'd moved on. But then, a few weeks ago, I heard that Shane was supposed to marry Jess, but that the wedding was off because Jess had cheated on him. And if that wasn't enough, I found out his grandfather, who he was extremely close to, had passed away just last month. The news left me feeling so conflicted, hurt, satisfaction, anger, and maybe deep down even a bit of empathy. But I shoved it aside. I wanted to be done with him, with anything that reminded me of the past. And yet, life had other plans. Last night, I ran into him at the grocery store. It was surreal. I was in the cereal aisle, trying to choose between 2 brands, when someone walked up beside me. I looked up, and there he was just a few feet away, giving me that smile that used to make my heart flutter. "Hey, how have you been?" he said, like we were old friends catching up. I can't explain the mix of emotions that hit me all at once. I wanted to scream, to cry, to laugh in his face, and let him know exactly what he'd done to me. But somehow I kept it together. I forced a blank expression, took a deep breath, and said, "I'm sorry. Do I know you?" The look on his face was priceless. He looked confused, almost hurt, like he genuinely couldn't believe I wouldn't remember him. I didn't give him a chance to say anything else. I just turned and walked away, my heart pounding in my chest. For the first time since he'd left, I felt like I had control over my life. I felt like I was finally letting go. But today, I told a mutual friend about what happened. I expected her to understand, maybe even validate me. But she was horrified. She said I was being cruel and heartless, especially considering Shane's been through so much recently. That he just lost his grandfather, that his fiancée had cheated on him, and now he was going through a really tough time. She said I should have been kinder, or at least acknowledged him. And now I'm torn. Was I too harsh? Did I let my bitterness get the best of me? Part of me feels like he deserved it, that he had no right to casually act like nothing happened. But another part of me wonders if I was the villain in that moment, If I was petty for ignoring his pain just because he hurt me, I keep replaying it over and over, wondering if I should have been better, if maybe it was time to forgive and move on. But every time I think of forgiving him, I remember how it felt to be abandoned, to be treated like a secret,